Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today, I'm taking a look at the FonJoy Rick Sanchez action figure from Rick and Morty. I am a big fan of that show. I know that makes me seem a little immature, but I really like it. And when I saw that FonJoy was making some action figures from the show, I had to pick one up, and they were fairly well priced. I think it was like 43 bucks on 5K Toys, and they're still in stock there if you want to check it out. But overall, this is a pretty decent figure. Definitely not perfect and a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's just jump right in. Right off the bat, I really do like its package, especially me being an inbox guy. This is a pretty good package. Nice window, and the way it's configured in there, you can see most of everything that's going on inside. I like the fact that the portal is the background back there. Nice image of Rick. It says Rick Sanchez at the bottom. And even on the side here, I like it. It's got a nice image of Rick, and it says Rick down there. So if you're an inbox person, you could display it like this or like this, and you'll get all the differentiation you want. On the other side's not much. On the back, some nice images. Probably could have given us a little bit more as far as images, but it's got kind of a layout describing some stuff right there, kind of somehow like that would be on a computer screen, maybe how Rick would do it. But overall, very nice packaging, nice material, nice print, so on and so forth. But let's see how tall Rick himself is really quick, because I think this is supposed to be 112, and I don't know exactly how tall Rick is in the show. If it says it somewhere and somebody knows, comment down below. To the top of his hair, he is 6.5 inches on the dot. Down to his hairline, he is right at 6 inches, which would make the figure right at 17 centimeters tall altogether. Like I said, I don't know exactly how tall Rick is supposed to be. In 112, that would make him right at 6 feet tall. I'm going to go ahead and say it works. Who knows? But if you know, tell me down in the comments. But here he is next to a demoniacal fit Goku from Dragon Ball Super. If he's supposed to be 6 foot tall, that height works right there. Here he is next to the Jada Toys Akuma, and Akuma's not quite 6 feet tall, so I see that probably works, but Akuma's a lot bigger of a guy. Right here, let's look right next to like a run-of-the-mill Marvel Legends, and as far as height is concerned, Deadpool and him are about the same height, but much bigger, see if you see that. And the last other line we'll show is the Storm Arena Ken, and he's taller than Ken because Ken's not 6 feet tall. I'm going to say those scales work, but somebody tell me down in the comments, like I said, if you know more than me. Now, as for his aesthetic, they pretty much nailed him. This is absolutely Rick Sanchez to a T. Now, granted, he's not like, he's not complexly drawn. He's just a guy with skinny arms and really skinny, tubular legs and a tubular midsection wearing a white jacket. But they really nailed it. I like it. His head and stuff, there's paint on it, and it looks really good. There is a really nice matte, flat finish all over it, and I love it. No like shading in the hair or anything, but I think that works because that would take away from the the animated kind of cartoon-esque look that Rick has. So I like it. The little spots around the divots around the outside of the mouth, I wish they maybe could have accentuated that just ever so slightly, because if you've seen images of Rick, they're very pronounced in his drawing. But other than that, this thing looks pretty good. He's just a tall, skinny guy in a lab coat, and they really nailed it. This lab coat is super duper soft. I like it a lot. It's flexible. It will not bind him up in any way. Like I said, arms and legs are just super little twigs or whatever, and his feet are just little kind of triangle pyramid looking things right there. There's nothing to them. He's got his little belt down here, and that's literally it as far as his look. But they nailed the source material again, in my opinion. But we'll talk more about like his joints and stuff here in just a minute. Now, for accessories, he comes with a ton of different shit. I really like it, particularly for his price point. We get 6 different heads for him. Obviously, we get this one with the drinking drool right here and the droopy eyes on him in the package, but he also comes with a different kind of drunky drool one right there where the eyes are goofy. He comes with kind of an open mouth, grinny, eyes are weird kind of face right there that looks nice. He's got one where his eyes are closed. I don't know if he's supposed to be asleep or one of his bodies are dead or whatever it is. Comes as I drop it on the ground. He comes with this one right here. If I can get it right side up, that looks pretty decent as well. And lastly, he gets a really like drunk and kind of wubba lubba dub dub kind of face right there, and I like it a lot too. We also get 3 different hair pieces, just a kind of regular normal hair piece on him in the package, and then another one that looks just like it. I honestly don't know really what the difference is. It doesn't really matter. It looks good as well. And he's got this one with the little wrap around it, and that goes with a specific piece that we'll see here in a minute. He's also got an extra torso piece right here with a kind of windswept kind of lab coat look to it, and that's pretty decent. He also, there's so much stuff in here, I didn't feel like digging it all out. But he comes with like a portal gun, a ray gun, some other kind of thing. What, 2, 4, 6, 8. He's got like, what, 9 different hands, you know, middle finger hands down here. A finger with like a T or something coming out of it. Looks cool. Of course, a liquor bottle for Rick. We wouldn't be a Rick figure without it. That little ball that looks kind of like a Pokemon ball, but it like turns into some kind of monster or something. He's got a flask right here. This looks like a Nintendo Super cartridge. If you all actually know what this is, somebody tell me down in the comments. I'm not sure. He gets this little VR piece right here that goes with that one head sculpt that has like the strap around the back. He's got some sunglasses, and he's got the little if I can get it, little ear kind of things for when he goes into the little mini-verse or whatever and tells him that he's an alien. So pretty good so far. He also comes with a nice stand over here that you probably saw in the beginning of the video. It says Rick on the front of it. I wish it didn't have a green base. I like clear bases on stands just so it doesn't matter what your shelf looks like. And he's got this nice little backdrop right here that looks like a portal. Normally, I don't like this kind of stuff, but I think this one is done really, really well, and it would be cool for any kind of diorama that you would want to do with him. So overall, his accessories are really darn good. Now for articulation, this is where it's objectively, it's not bad, but there are going to be some aspects of it, kind of depends on what you personally as the collector kind of like. But let's just start with his head and we'll talk about all of it. You know, his head will look down and all around really, really well. And that is just because he is on a ball peg. The neck is just basically a ball peg sticking out of there and the head rests on it. The neck itself is not going to move, but you are going to get some pretty good nuance just out of that ball peg, you know, system that it has. So I don't really mind it too well. Would have been nicer if the neck peg itself would have moved as well. Yeah, but for what you're going to want to do with Rick, it's not that big of a deal. Now the shoulders don't quite, as they're resting right now, come out to 90, but that is kind of a misnomer. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Does a full 360, has a little bit of a butterfly-esque system in there, and it will bring his arms across his body. But the reason why I said as it rests is because up in there, it is a ball hinge. And if you kind of wanted to take the arm off and ball hinge shimmy it, you could pretty much get whatever level you want. Do I think that was necessarily a good idea? No, not necessarily, but you'll see that that is kind of a theme of this figure. As we move down the arm here, the elbow is a single jointed elbow and it is a ball hinge as well. You see that a lot in really skinny figures like this guy, so I'm not going to damn it. Does it hurt the aesthetic? To an extent, and not all at the same time. Like I said, he's just a skinny tubular armed guy, but you will get past 90 and you do get rotation and stuff at it. And like I said, keep in mind the ball hinges because you'll notice a theme. Down here, the wrists are a ball hinge as well, but you'll get your rotation and all that stuff, and wrist really should be a ball hinge in my opinion. Now, continuing with the ball hinge motif, the torso is a ball hinge as well, and I think that's an interesting choice. I don't really know why they did it like that, but they did. Double ball pegs work better in this situation, so you don't really get much crunch. You do get a little lean back, but you do get lots of side to side, and that has to do with a lot because that's the way the ball hinge currently is oriented. So side to side is what you get. If I finagled with it, you know, you get more front to back. Like I said, this is soft, so it doesn't impede anything. No waist joint, so that might bother some people. For what this is, it doesn't really bother me. Again, more ball hinges here in the waist. So the leg will kick out a little bit, not quite up to the waist. Well, I want to call that to the waist. That's about 90 degrees. And if you want to turn it that way, it goes all the way around. However you orient that ball hinge, if you're willing to fiddle with it, that is where it will kind of line up. He does have thigh swivel because it's just pegged up in there, so you get that. Knees, just like the elbows, are a ball hinge as well, and they'll go past 90 for you, and it doesn't look too bad when the knee closes up, or when the leg straightens out and closes up. It hides it from the front. You can still see it from the back, but we don't look at our figures from the back. Moving on, the one place they didn't put a ball hinge is in the ankle. Oddly enough, it is just a ball peg, and that little triangle of a foot that he has just kind of wiggles around on it, so it gives you something of forwards and back. And if you move it around, it kind of makes it look like it's an ankle rocker. It's really not. There are technically peg holes in the bottoms of the feet. The entire foot is hollow. Why? I don't know. Don't really care. But so you could set his foot down on something if you wanted to, and no toe hinge. So his articulation is really, it works for what it is. Objectively, it's not bad. I'm not a fan of all the joint systems and where they're placed, but it's not bad. Final thoughts on the FonJoy Rick and Morty Rick Sanchez action figure. I'll just cut right to it. I like it for what it is. I'm going to give it a solid B because it's executed pretty well. I'm not a big fan of the joint systems, but it's still pretty darn good. If you like this kind of thing, you will definitely like this and you won't regret it, particularly for $43. I recommend it if this is something that you like. If this is not something you like, if you're more into action figures that do action shit, you're probably not going to like this. But anyways, that's all I've got for Rick and Morty. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.